Have you ever wondered why, despite working hard, you still seem to fall short of achieving your goals? It's frustrating, right? What if I told you there's a proven framework that can guide you towards your goals, not just through effort, but with focus, clarity, and actionable steps? Success? What does it really look like for you? Is it financial freedom, building a thriving business, or simply finding peace within yourself? What if the path to your goals wasn't about working harder, but about working smarter? Today, we're diving into Stephen Covey's 3 powerful principles and how they can help you achieve your goals, no matter how big or small. Let's get started. Principle 1, be proactive. Taking control of your life. Every day, you are faced with countless decisions. The question is, are you letting life happen to you? Or are you choosing to take control? Are you reacting to every obstacle and setback that comes your way? Or are you proactively shaping your path? This is the essence of Stephen Covey's first principle. Be proactive, a principle that doesn't just empower you to live with intention, but also teaches you to be the creator of your own life. And the best part? It all starts with a choice. The power of choice. At its core, being proactive is about recognizing that we have the power to choose how we respond to every situation. And this is the fundamental truth of personal responsibility. No one can make us feel a certain way unless we allow it. We are not controlled by external circumstances or other people's actions. We are the architects of our own reactions. Let's pause for a moment. Think about the last time something didn't go your way. Maybe you missed a deadline, had a disagreement with someone, or were criticized at work. What was your immediate response? Were you upset, angry, frustrated, or defeated? Did you feel like the world was against you? This is the first step in mastering your life. It's not about being able to control every external factor. It's about taking responsibility for how you choose to respond. The reactive versus proactive mindset. Now, let's dive deeper into the reactive mindset. A reactive person tends to see themselves as a victim of their circumstances. They might say things like, "I can't do anything about this situation," or "I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time." They often blame external factors, like the economy, other people, or even bad luck when things go wrong. When life throws them a challenge, they react based on their emotions without taking time to think about their options or potential solutions. In contrast, a proactive person takes full responsibility for their actions. They recognize that while they can't control everything around them, they can control how they respond. When something goes wrong, they don't see it as an obstacle. They see it as an opportunity to act, learn, and grow. They don't blame circumstances. Instead, they look for solutions and work toward positive outcomes, no matter the challenge. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. A reactive person would get angry, frustrated, and upset. They might even take out their frustration on others, creating a ripple effect of negativity. On the other hand, a proactive person would recognize that getting angry isn't going to help the situation. They would stay calm, find a way to use the extra time productively, Maybe listen to an educational podcast or plan for the meeting and approach the delay as a temporary inconvenience, not a major setback. The key difference here is control. A reactive person feels like a victim of their circumstances, while a proactive person takes control of their response, no matter what life throws their way. And this difference in mindset is the first step towards personal mastery, taking responsibility. To be proactive means to take ownership of your life. It means accepting that you are responsible for your happiness, your success, and your actions. When you stop blaming others or your circumstances, you regain your power. This is the difference between living a life of reactive passivity and living a life of empowered choice. Think about it. When you take full responsibility for your reactions, you stop feeling helpless or powerless. Instead, you feel in control because you recognize that you control how you feel in every situation. Let's say you have a difficult relationship with a colleague. Instead of blaming them for their behavior, a proactive person would take responsibility for their part in the dynamic. They might think, how can I improve this relationship? How can I approach this situation differently? By doing so, they shift from being a victim to becoming the solution. Taking responsibility is also about recognizing that you have the power to change. When something isn't working, whether it's a bad habit, a toxic relationship, or an unproductive routine, you can choose to make different choices. You are not trapped by your current circumstances. You can choose to make decisions today that will lead to better outcomes tomorrow. This is true empowerment, knowing that you have the ability to change your life through your actions. Proactivity and the circle of influence. Stephen Covey talks about the circle of influence and the circle of concern. The circle of concern. The circle of concern includes all the things you worry about that are outside of your control. Politics, the economy, other people's opinions, etc. The circle of influence, on the other hand, includes everything within your control, your own actions, responses, and behaviors. Reactive people spend most of their energy in the circle of concern, worrying about things they can't change. Proactive people focus on expanding their circle of influence by taking positive action on the things they can control. The beauty of this is that as you focus more on your circle of influence, you start to expand it. Every time you choose to respond positively to a situation, you grow your ability to influence your environment. Over time, you will start to notice that more and more things are within your control because you've consistently taken action to improve your life. It's like a snowball effect. Small proactive actions lead to bigger results. Proactivity in achieving goals. So how does being proactive help you achieve your goals? The answer is simple. Proactivity is the foundation of success. If you want to achieve your goals, whether they're personal, professional, or financial, you must first take responsibility for them. No one else is going to achieve your dreams for you. You need to be the one who takes action, makes the decisions, and drives the momentum. By being proactive, you begin the process of goal achievement with the mindset that you are fully capable of reaching your destination. Imagine you're working toward a major goal, like writing a book. A reactive person might feel overwhelmed by the task, waiting for the perfect time or waiting for inspiration to strike. They might procrastinate, feeling uncertain, and eventually give up. But a proactive person would break the task down into manageable steps, set deadlines, and start writing, even when they don't feel like it. They take action regardless of how they feel in the moment, because they understand that progress is made through consistency. Being proactive is about taking that first step, even if you don't have all the answers. It's about creating momentum. And once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep going. The more proactive you are in taking action, the more you begin to see results. And momentum, small wins, builds up over time to create massive success. The role of proactivity in self-discipline. One of the greatest challenges we face when working toward our goals is self-discipline. It's easy to make plans, set intentions, and talk about our dreams. But the real challenge comes when we're faced with delayed gratification and the temptation to quit. Proactivity plays a huge role here. A proactive person takes control of their habits and decisions. They don't wait for motivation to strike. Instead, they create habits that support their goals, and they stay committed even when the excitement fades. Let's say you're working on getting fit. The reactive approach would be to wait until you feel like going to the gym, to wait until you're in the mood to eat healthy. But a proactive person doesn't wait for motivation to appear. They create the motivation. They schedule workouts, plan meals ahead of time, and make decisions that support their goals, regardless of their mood. They understand that discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Principle 2, begin with the end in mind. Have you ever set out to achieve something only to find yourself halfway through, wondering, is this really what I want? Or more importantly, is this what I truly need? The goals you set might look impressive on paper, but without a clear vision of what you ultimately want to achieve, they may end up feeling shallow or misaligned with your deepest desires. In the rush to meet deadlines, complete tasks, and check off our to-do lists, it's easy to forget why we're doing these things in the first place. But no matter the vision, it all starts with the end goal. Without that clear picture of where you're going, it's too easy to get lost in the shuffle of day-to-day distractions, unmet expectations, or failure. So how do you begin with the end in mind? Let's explore how this principle can transform your life and set you on a path toward true success. The power of a clear vision. The first step in beginning with the end in mind is creating a vision. A vision is more than just a goal. It's a destination. It's the final result that you want to see when you look back at your life, your career, or any major project. In other words, it's the finish line, the place you want to be once you've achieved your goals. But here's the thing. Most people don't take the time to truly define what they want. They set vague goals like, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy, without ever picturing what success or happiness looks like to them. And this, right here, is why so many people feel unsatisfied despite their hard work and accomplishments. To truly begin with the end in mind, you need to picture exactly what success looks like for you. You need to define your own success. The clarity you gain from defining your vision will help you make decisions, take action, and create a roadmap to get there. Take a moment and think, what's your vision? Where do you see yourself in 5, 10, or 20 years? Is it owning a business, traveling the world, building a family, achieving financial independence? Or maybe it's about becoming a leader in your community, or simply living a life aligned with your values, or simply living a life aligned with your values. Creating a personal mission statement. One of the most powerful ways to begin with the end in mind is by creating a personal mission statement. Covey suggests that we should all have a clear written mission that serves as a guiding compass in our lives. This mission statement isn't just about what you want to do. It's about who you want to become. It's the essence of your purpose, values, and vision, written out as a blueprint for how you'll live your life and make decisions. For example, let's say your vision is to be a successful entrepreneur. Your personal mission statement might read something like, I am committed to building a company that helps others live healthier lives through innovative products. I will lead my business with integrity, inspire my team, and create solutions that make a meaningful impact on society. When you write it down like this, your mission statement not only gives you clarity, but also serves as a daily reminder of what you're working toward. It keeps you grounded in your values and your larger purpose, and it's the filter through which every decision and action flows. By creating a personal mission statement, you essentially carve out the path to your end goal. It's your guide for how to get there and a reminder of why it matters. Your mission statement keeps you on track and helps you stay focused, even when things get difficult. The role of values in visualizing success. When we begin with the end in mind, it's not enough to just think about external achievements, like career success or financial goals. Your vision must also be rooted in your core values. Values are the principles that guide your behavior and decisions. They are the internal compass that shapes who you are and how you show up in the world. Achieving your goals without considering your values will only lead to emptiness. A successful business may leave you feeling unfulfilled if it's built on values that don't resonate with you. Likewise, achieving a life of financial success without balance or family support may leave you questioning if it's worth it. So when visualizing success, ask yourself, what do I value most in life? What's truly important to me? Is it family, creativity, integrity, service? By incorporating these values into your vision, you can ensure that your success is not just material or external, but also meaningful and fulfilling. For instance, Let's take an entrepreneur again. Imagine their goal is to build a multi-million-dollar company, but their core value is integrity. If their vision aligns with integrity, their actions will be focused on honesty, transparency, and ethical practices. Every business decision will be filtered through the lens of doing the right thing. And this will allow the entrepreneur to build a company that is not only financially successful, but also highly respected and trusted. The success isn't just about profit. It's about living according to their values and achieving something meaningful. Breaking down the vision into achievable goals. Now that you've defined your vision and your values, it's time to break your end goal down into achievable milestones. Covey emphasizes that without clear, actionable steps, even the most inspiring vision will remain out of reach. Think about it. If you're climbing a mountain, you wouldn't just start walking toward the summit with no map or plan. You'd create checkpoints, rest stops, and a strategy for how to get there. The same principle applies to your vision. To make it actionable, you need to break it down into smaller goals. Let's say your ultimate vision is to become a best-selling author. You can't just say, "I want to be a best-selling author," and expect it to happen. You have to set concrete goals that lead you to that end. For instance, writing 1,000 words a day, attending writing workshops, and building an online platform are all specific actions that move you closer to your vision of becoming a best-selling author. Each of these small steps adds up over time, and you'll begin to notice progress as you tick off each milestone. With every goal you achieve, you're closer to your ultimate vision. And the best part is, the more you break your vision down into achievable tasks, the more momentum you create. You feel more confident and motivated to continue because you're seeing tangible results. And those results reinforce your belief that you're on the right path. Staying focused and committed. When you begin with the end in mind, the road is rarely smooth. You will face obstacles, setbacks, and even moments of doubt. Commitment to your vision is essential during these times. It's easy to get discouraged, to give up on your goals when you face challenges. But Covey's principle teaches us that commitment to our vision, regardless of the difficulties, is what will propel us forward. Think about a time when you wanted to quit something. Maybe you were learning a new skill, starting a business, or trying to get in shape. When things got tough, you probably asked yourself, is this worth it? Should I just give up? But those who succeed are the ones who push through those doubts. They remain committed to their vision. And the way to do that is by constantly visualizing your success, even in the most difficult moments. Picture yourself achieving that end goal, feeling the fulfillment, the pride, and the satisfaction that comes with it. The key is to never lose sight of your vision, no matter how long the road ahead might seem. With every obstacle, remind yourself of why you started this journey in the first place. Every setback is just a part of the process, a test of your perseverance, a chance for you to prove to yourself that you have what it takes to make your vision a reality. The power of visualization in achieving success. Now, let's talk about visualization. This isn't just about imagining your success as a daydream. It's about creating a mental image of yourself already achieving your goals. Covey encourages you to visualize your success so vividly that it feels as though it's already happening. This exercise is incredibly powerful because it taps into the subconscious mind, which doesn't differentiate between reality and imagination. When you picture yourself succeeding, whether it's finishing that book, launching your company, or running a marathon, you start to believe in your potential. This belief drives action, and when action is taken with confidence and determination, success follows. So take a moment every day to close your eyes and visualize yourself achieving your goals. Feel the emotions, see the details, and imagine the pride of standing at the summit of your success. You've spent time visualizing your success, aligning it with your values, and breaking it down into achievable goals. Now it's time to take action. Covey's principle of begin with the end in mind doesn't just stop at visualization. It demands you to take consistent steps toward your vision. Your goals won't achieve themselves, but with the clarity of vision, the commitment to your purpose, and the belief in yourself, you are unstoppable. So, today, right now, take the first step. Write down your vision, your mission, your goals, and the concrete actions you need to take to get there. And then start moving. Don't wait for the perfect moment. That moment is now. Begin with the end in mind and make today the day you start building the future you've always dreamed of. Principle 3. Think win-win. In a world that constantly promotes competition, it's easy to get stuck in the mindset of scarcity. The belief that for one person to win, someone else has to lose. We see it every day in business, politics, and even our personal lives. But Stephen Covey's principle of think win-win changes the game. It's not about outsmarting or defeating others. It's about building collaborative solutions where everyone benefits, because true success is mutual. What if I told you that you don't have to compete with others to achieve greatness? What if you could create a world where everyone around you thrives and you thrive too? This is the essence of win-win thinking. When everyone wins, you win. It sounds idealistic, doesn't it? But Covey's principle proves that it's not only possible, it's the most powerful way to approach life, business, and relationships. The traditional mindset, zero-sum thinking. To understand win-win, let's first look at the traditional mindset that so many of us have been taught to adopt. The zero-sum mentality. In this mindset, life is a game where only one person can come out on top. If someone wins, someone else has to lose. In the business world, this shows up in cutthroat competition. In relationships, it might look like trying to be the one who always gets their way. This mentality fosters envy, resentment, and hostility. Why? Because when you believe that success can only come at the expense of others, it becomes impossible to be genuinely happy for someone else's success. You view others as rivals rather than partners, and this negative Win-lose approach doesn't just harm those around you, it harms you too. When you're constantly focused on defeating others, you drain your energy, creativity, and joy. Now imagine if we shifted our mindset to win-win thinking. Instead of how can I beat this person, you ask, how can we create a solution where we both succeed? The difference is profound. Win-win shifts from a mentality of competition to one of collaboration. Instead of fighting for the last piece of pie, you bake a bigger pie together. The win-win approach in action. Let me show you how this works in practice. Imagine you're working on a project with a team. The old mindset might tell you to protect your own ideas and work alone to ensure that your part of the project gets recognized. But in the win-win mindset, you collaborate with the team. You share ideas, build on each other's strengths, and find a solution that elevates everyone's work. Let's take a business example. You're negotiating a contract with a client. A typical win-lose mentality might focus on securing the lowest price or the biggest deal at your client's expense. But a win-win approach is different. In this case, you'll negotiate to find a solution that benefits both sides. You might offer a slightly lower price in exchange for a longer-term contract, additional services, or a more flexible payment schedule. You are looking for solutions that leave both parties feeling good about the agreement, so they feel compelled to continue working together. By focusing on mutual gain, you build trust, respect, and long-lasting relationships. This doesn't just apply to business, it applies to every interaction in your life, from friendships to family dynamics. When you help others succeed, you elevate yourself. Why win-win thinking works? You might be asking, but how can I always create a win-win situation? Isn't there competition in everything? The truth is that true competition doesn't come from defeating others, it comes from cooperation. Think about the most successful teams, businesses, and partnerships. They didn't thrive by competing against each other. They thrived by collaborating, by helping each other grow, and by working together to build something bigger than they could have alone. When you adopt the win-win mindset, you shift the focus from personal gain to collaborative success. You stop seeing life as a battle to be won, and instead, you start seeing every challenge as an opportunity for collective growth. You understand that by lifting others, you raise yourself as well. Covey also explains that win-win isn't always easy. There are times when the circumstances don't seem to align perfectly, or when the people around you don't share the same mindset. But win-win is about intention. It's about always striving for solutions that benefit everyone involved. It's about creating a culture of trust, generosity, and mutual respect. Creating a win-win culture. If you want to implement this in your life, it starts with you. Win-win begins with your mindset. The first step is to be generous in your thinking, to seek solutions that benefit all parties, not just yourself. This mindset can be contagious. When you embrace this approach, you begin to influence those around you in positive ways. You start building a win-win culture in your family, your workplace, and your community. For example, if you're in a leadership position, you can create a culture of collaboration by encouraging open communication, valuing the input of others, and seeking out solutions that benefit your team. When you adopt the win-win mindset, your team feels valued, respected, and motivated to contribute their best. And this leads to better results, more trust, and stronger relationships. The power of abundance. One of the underlying ideas of win-win thinking is the concept of abundance. The idea that there's enough success to go around and that you don't have to take away from someone else's happiness or success to achieve your own. The scarcity mentality tells us that there's a limited amount of success, wealth, or opportunity. It creates fear, jealousy, and competition. But the abundance mindset shifts your thinking to one of opportunity and generosity. With an abundance mindset, you realize that helping others succeed doesn't take away from your success. In fact, it adds to it. Your growth is connected to the growth of others. And when everyone around you is succeeding, you're succeeding too. This is the foundation of win-win thinking. So, how do you apply this? Start small. Look for opportunities to practice win-win thinking in your daily life. Whether it's negotiating with a colleague, collaborating with a friend, or finding ways to support someone else's goals. Practice the mindset of mutual success. Start by asking, how can I help this person win while also achieving my own goals? And watch how this mindset transforms your relationships and results. Remember, true success comes from collaboration, not competition. When you help others win, you create a ripple effect of success that benefits everyone, including you. So, the next time you face a challenge, think win-win and watch how your success grows exponentially.